It's amazing she's not in wrestling, but
You know, she wanted her own path. Yeah.
she could transition right now. She looks.
Hey,
she looks
bro,
really
that's
strong.
fucked up.
Transition as in move from one sport to another.
Please clarify.
That was good. That was good.
That was good. I mean, she might be able to do that too. But
All right. I love Liam Neeson when he was younger, but like play an older man.
Like, bro,
role
you got
right
all these
now.
movies called Taken. Maybe give.
Yeah.
Maybe give it back.
I hate Nelson.
Can I Eskimo kiss my mic?
I mean, you can.
No one's gonna stop you.
Yeah.
No, you're
But
good.
you won't be the first to have done it.
No.
Yeah.
So you might be Eskimo kissing some other Eskimo kisses
Yeah.
in there.
I
Yeah.
don't know how well we sanitize these things.
Do we sanitize these things? No, I don't.
Absolutely.
I don't think so.
All the time.
Yeah. We go to the highest levels of sanitation.
Speaking of sanitation, welcome to the Sofa Kingdom Podcast with your host Nelson
I'm Ian.
Ed.
and our very special guest today. Please introduce yourself.
Hi guys, Shimmy. Nice to meet you.
All right, Shimmy. So
We have someone else with us today, Rude.
My apologies. We have a fifth guest today,
That's right. We have Emma.
Emma.
Unprecedented, first time, four-legged
Yes.
guest.
Well,
Margot's close.
yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, to be fair, we're kind of dogs ourselves, so
Yeah.
this works out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm down with it. She's adorable. How long have you had her?
So I got her 2 days ago. Yeah, she's from Golden Retriever Rescue of South Florida.
All right.
And I work with the rescue. I've worked with them since COVID for a few years. Because I was always like, I guess, too Sally to get a dog of my own. I was like, I'm not ready. I didn't grow up with dogs. So I was like, let me get reps.
Yeah.
Fitness break. Let me get some reps. Let me see if this is like for me for real.
Right.
So I started in COVID getting all different kinds of dogs: Golden Retrievers, Bernese Mountain Dogs, Pyrenees, Bulldogs, whatever, different shapes, different sizes, temperaments. And it's great.
Yeah.
So it's like for anybody that's never fostered a dog before, it's like, I don't know if a dog is for me. Like, go foster. You have basically no responsibility. Or you like go through the motions.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Yeah, but don't you have a fear of, like, see me, because, like, I get attached.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing where, like, fostering the dogs, because, like, I've had that happen to me where people in my life will be like, here you go, just watch this dog for a week, and I'm like, the dog is mine now.
Right. Dude, I don't know.
They know how to work me.
I don't know. Like, that happens to everyone. And I'm not like a weird narcissist sociopath. I'm so not. Like, I love people. I love dogs.
Must be nice.
Yeah. Right.
That makes one of us.
Like, I'm
Congratulations.
so not that.
How does that work?
I think because I have my expectations so tempered beforehand. Like, I know
I got
I'm
you.
not a place in life where I want to lock in with a dog yet.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
still want experiences.
Sure.
So then I go in and do it. Once or twice I've come close.
Yeah.
But also, I don't spend that much time with the dog because most of the dogs I get, I'm very fortunate, or the rescue's fortunate, they get fostered super quick.
Right.
So, like, the longest that I've ever had a dog is maybe 3.5 weeks.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
It's not a long time.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah, like her, I've had 2 days.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm sure inside of a week,
Someone's going to take
she's an
that.
angel dog. Like,
Yeah. That's really cool.
She is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So when you're fostering, do you have to bring them back to a specific place, or do people come to you to meet the dog and decide whether or not they want to take them
so that's
home?
all a conversation. So sometimes the potential adopter comes to me, to my house. Sometimes we meet at a rest stop in Fort Pierce.
Sure.
Very specific.
I feel like there's something to that.
At
Like you have to
Larry's
be-
Diner.
That's right.
Larry's Diner.
Behind the dumpster.
Table 4, you have to order the apple pie specifically.
You must order the apple pie with extra cinnamon.
That's right, and that's how you know.
No deal.
Yeah. No, it's really just whatever.
Cool.
It's really just whatever you agree upon with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So
Yeah.
much like real adoption with kids.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I don't have any kids that I
Tell
know.
us of your experience.
I think it's a little
Ian.
more complicated with kids.
Oh.
I would
Well,
hope
it's
to think so.
It's like trading cards, right?
No, you don't just walk into a McDonald's and be like, I like that one. I think I'll take it home. There's some paperwork involved, some vetting.
Why not?
I will be honest about that. I have 2 cousins that actually do foster children and have foster children because it was something that my aunt did. And when she passed away, her kids decided, this is a part of our family's legacy. We're going to do it. And it's a beautiful thing. But they've actually themselves adopted children along the way. And they've done that. And it's a nice thing when people do it for both animals and for humans, because it takes a lot of compassion. It takes some heart. That's why I was saying, like, even with people more so, like when they have a kid of any age in particular, you can get attached to a personality, and that's probably what will happen. You'll find that one dog, and you'll be like, "Fuck, this is my dog now."
My dog.
Which is why, like, I gravitate towards pit bulls. I've had them my whole life. I just love their temperament. They get a bad rap, but they are very loving, very protective animals. So it's like, I can be like, when my nieces or my daughter is playing in the backyard, like when she was younger, I can let my pit bulls out there and come in this house and just be relaxed. I know she's good. They're like all over, like watching to make sure the mailman's coming. You better get the fuck out of here, because they care for the people in their homes. But it's definitely a cool thing to do.
Not to mention, pit bulls also have a lot of other positives, like they don't have a ton of shedding because they're short-haired dogs.
Correct.
Like they're very, very protective. They're very chill.
Yes.
They don't need, they need exercise, but they also could be total potatoes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right. And they're pretty healthy.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen
They
some
are.
potato pit bulls. I've definitely seen
Yeah.
them.
Oh yeah.
Not a single muscle in their body.
No, but that's why I have two.
Until all of a sudden they have to use their muscle. Like, God damn it.
Yeah, where the hell has that been this whole time?
Right.
Well, that's why I have two, because Freya, she's more of a lethargic dog. She'll lay around all day, but Sky, high energy. So when I brought Sky into the house, Freya's very alpha. Sky's like, just play with me. So their two energies match very well.
How'd you land on those names?
Sky, I took from a friend of mine who I do music with. He was in a hard place, and he was like, I'm going to, bring this back to the adoption agency. And I was at the studio enough where I'm like, I like this dog. Let me bring her home. And if she gets along with Freya, then I'll keep her. Typically, all my dogs have been like Zeus, Athena, Freya,
Lots
Isis,
of gods.
into the gods of different things.
He literally only picks porn star names.
I was going to lean into that. I was going to say they're porn star names.
100%.
Yeah.
Like if you only
Adriana,
yes,
Jessica.
yes.
All right.
If
I
you
see
only-
what you're doing.
If you only did
Belladonna.
the only audio for this podcast, and he's like, "This is the couch podcast," and we have Freya and Sky, and you're like, "Oh, I know where this is going."
I know, yeah. This is going to be a
exactly where
good
this
vibe.
train is headed.
This is a fucking casting couch.
That's right. That's right.
Who's to say it isn't?
That's right. Exactly.
Bro, we got 4 dudes in a dog in this couch. This is not that kind of fucking
Not that kind of party.
Fine.
Right?
I'll
No.
go with that then.
Don't listen to the weirdos. Don't listen to the
That's
weirdos.
right. That's right.
So you said you've been doing it since COVID, and it's something you think you're going to continue to do?
Until I get a dog of my own.
Yeah.
Or a house of my own. So the more times that I do it, just like anything, like I said, reps, the more that I know kind of what I want in a dog. It's so funny. It's like what I want in a partner. What I want in a life. It feels the fucking same. Like what I'm looking for, what I don't like.
Yeah, I got you.
It's literally just the more it comes out.
I mean, Ian's looking to get a dog.
I mean, no. My girlfriend is looking
It's a
for
running
dog,
joke
yeah.
because his girl wants one, and she's always like, "Tell Ian to get a dog." And we're like, "Yeah, Ian wants a dog."
And I said pretty much same thing you did. Yeah, when we have a fucking yard. Then they have
I will
yard,
say, like,
dog,
the benefit
yeah.
of being here. Like, okay, look,
Able to let the dog go.
can be shit, but I can open up the backyard, and there's an acre and a quarter. The
I'm on the
dogs
3rd
run
floor.
around.
That dog don't want to run up and down.
Yeah.
I think the biggest realization that I had is like everybody wants a dog when their life is calm, or when they're like not doing a lot, or when they're lonely, or when they But when your life is a bit more tumultuous and there's a bit more movement going on, traveling or whatever, then how are you going to be? Because what happens with me is when I don't have a whole lot going on, when COVID happened, or if I'm just working from home or whatever, having a dog is amazing.
Right.
But whenever I'm like have a lot of social things going on, traveling, whatever, then having a dog becomes horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
And
You gotta
have to
find
find
someone to either
care.
watch it or board it. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a lot. I have a friend of mine who works for the Secret Service, and he not only has a dog, but he has a ex-service dog as well. So that dog does require special people to watch this dog, because the dog itself, like people, has PTSD, like in a way. So it suffers from separation anxiety. Right? Because here's a dog who's a worker dog who's always used to like, I'm here with you, I'm protecting you. So when you're gone, it's like something is fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And so so take that and then add it times 10 when you're dealing with those kinds of things. I don't know if you guys ever seen that movie, Megan Levy. It's a movie about like a military dog, basically, who like
dog's
went to
name Megan
war. The dog is Levy.
it's a Jewish dog.
Maybe.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe.
What do you feed that dog?
You feed it challah.
And matzah.
That's right.
And here's a dog that, like, in reality went, saved people's lives, did a lot of things overseas, and then comes back, and then they can't even bring it back into the general population because they're like, oh, it can hurt someone. It can, thinking it's trying to save somebody's life, it can attack somebody. And they also suffer from like PTSD like real soldiers do because bombs are going off, they get hurt, all these kinds of things. So they come back and they're fucking skittish. Mm-hmm. And us as people, we're like, I don't care that dog. The general civilian is like, I don't care that dog did this if it's going to attack me or attack my
I mean, we
child.
did it to an entire group of people, so we probably do it to dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying,
It's an interesting movie to watch if you haven't seen it, if you're interested in that kind of a thing. Because I didn't even know, because I served in the military, but I never worked with animals. And that's just like a whole nother side to it, and they do it with the police department, things like that as well too. So
it doesn't surprise me that we don't have support systems for animals. We don't even have it for our own.
We don't even have it for the soldiers that come home as well. I
mean, remember when imagine being a Tuskegee Airman in like World War II, and like you're a black pilot and you go out and fight the Nazis for your country. You're a hero, but then when you come back here, someone can make you move out of your bus seat. What the fuck? Like, wait a minute,
something wrong.
Yeah,
something
two weeks ago, I was in an air battle over France for your fucking freedom, and now I have to get up. Okay.
Yeah.
I see how. Interesting. How the tables have turned.
Yeah. I see how this is. How the turntables.
But I would say, bottom line, if someone's never thought about fostering before, like, it also gives you an idea of, if you think you want a certain dog, go see if you can spend some time with that dog, because what you think that dog is behind closed doors may be that, or it may not be that. So for me, like, I always try to reverse engineer, because we all think of the breeds that we want. For me, like, I always loved Bernese Mountain Dogs, Golden Retrievers, Pyrenees, all these things. So like, I tried to look for those dogs that I could spend some time with, and like, if we get along, maybe I'll just keep that dog, or if not, at least I know what that breed is like, and then move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like
a smart way to look at it.
Like dating. But with no responsibility.
Different breeds
or
of women.
repercussion.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. And the moment that she like stops acting right or doesn't do something you like, you just give her back. You just give her back to her rescue.
Someone else's problem.
You give her back to the streets.
There we go. Exactly.
You may leave now.
Like, we don't need to work through this. Who does that? Let's get another one.
It's difficult now. All their shit is all over their apartment.
Yeah.
So,
Are you speaking from personal experience here? What's going on? No.
I'm speaking metaphorically.
Metaphorically.
Theoretical.
So a fictitious person.
Yes.
That if you were living with them and their shit was
probably
all
still
over the
sleeping
apartment.
in as we speak.
Yeah. Women do sleep a lot.
Bro, what the fuck? Bro.
I'm telling you, like, I'm up every day. I gotta go, bro. I gotta move.
I was on call yesterday, right? So like, it's my first day on call by myself.
Hold
so
on, what do you do?
I'm an OR nurse. So
OR
I like
nurse.
while you're unconscious, I'm there.
You're conscious. While you're
out, I'm up.
That's right.
Right. So basically, I got up. It's supposed to start at 7 a.m. and goes to 7 p.m. So anytime they fucking call me, there's any surgeries, it's me. That's it. There's no one else.
Right.
I go to the hospital.
Right.
So I got up at 6 a.m. I'm sitting there just staring at my phone like a psychopath all day. After like 8, 9 o'clock goes by, I'm like, well, I guess I should start playing video games. So I start playing Super Mario RPG on the fucking Switch.
Right.
The call never came. Never fucking came.
The girls never came.
Dude,
girls never came.
Dude, I beat Super Mario RPG. Sitting there waiting for my job to call. My girlfriend was like, I think I looked up. I was like, wait a minute, where the fuck is she at? And like, I looked up at like 2 o'clock. She's still asleep. I'm like, how? Like, I know it's Saturday.
Yeah.
I know the weather. But I'm like, what the fuck?
But then they'll wake up and still be like, I'm tired. Like, how the fuck are you tired?
Bro,
For
12 hours.
First thing she says when she wakes up, she walks out like, I'm hungry. I'm like, I'm on call. What the fuck? Like, you work for a living? Like,
how can you be hungry? You literally did not move all day.
Right. You literally slept to conserve calories. Like, what the fuck? That's what a bear does in the winter.
Bro,
like, what?
So many of these girls, like they'll what I like to say is like, they have to wake up from waking up.
Yes.
And that shit is the craziest shit. Like, I'll ask a girl, I'll be like, are you a morning person? She'll be like, nah. Or she'll be like, yeah, kind of. I'd be like, okay, so when you wake up, do you then need to have coffee and go sit on the couch and still be asleep, awake with your eyes open before I talk to you? And they'll be like, yeah, like, how did you know? And I'll be like, bye.
That's a nice story. I'll talk to you later, or not.
Like I don't need that. Like when I'm like I'll be like, yeah, when I'm up, and that's like a foreign concept to a lot of girls. They'll be like,
is.
what do you mean? Like I don't know. Eyes open, brains on, like
Yes.
things
It's like
to do.
Time to move. I'm awake.
I'm still asleep when I'm driving.
Yeah.
I'm driving to work. I'm still asleep.
Well, I think even for like me and my brother at a young age, because like my father was like he was a police officer and he was also a super in the building and he also did construction. Like
Yeah,
he
did
worked
a lot of
3
shit.
jobs.
Yeah, he did a lot of shit.
So he would have us up to assist and learn these things. And we were younger. We're like, get the fuck out of here. I don't ever want to work with my hands. But then as you get older, you're like, fuck. This is actually the thing that we do. I became a building engineer. My brother the same. We worked in maintenance. Now I'm in management for like estates and things like that. But I have to be like 6 a.m. Boom, I'm up. I'm outside with the dogs, walking them, doing the thing, and I go. I don't have time to be like, all right, I need another hour. To get myself situated. I got to get shit done.
But also, have you taken that other hour and been like worse off? Like I've taken that hour.
Oh, yeah.
before.
Mhm.
I've given in to those proclivities where I'm like, all right, I wake up at 6:30. I'm gonna stay in bed till 8, and then when I do, I'm like, ugh.
The next like 4 hours feels bad.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah,
yeah,
whereas,
so
like-
much worse.
whereas, like-
Sometimes you get all the sleep you want and you feel like shit. Like you wake up, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So I think that your point is duly noted. So like if you wake up at 8, the next 4 hours are crap. If I wake up at 6:30 and I don't want to wake up, only the next 15 minutes are crap. Then I'm bussing. Then I'm
Yeah, you're
good.
focused. You're focused.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
funny how it's like that.
But the majority of our days, because I know that you're into physical fitness,
Yeah.
and me and my brother, we are jiu-jitsu practitioners. He's also into fitness. Ian,
I do a lot of yoga.
He's a beast.
Okay.
He's
Yeah, yeah.
fitness, yoga. He's on his feet at the ER all day and things like that. So it's like part of my job is like I'm managing homes. So all day I'm up, I'm managing homes, I'm bouncing between different projects, and then I come home, 20 minutes, shower, change. I'm at the Jiu-Jitsu Academy for the next 3 hours.
Is your
to
step
come
count
back.
crazy? Do you know
sorry?
your step count? Do you track your steps?
I kind of like it's on here, but I never really look. But my
imagine it's
day
pretty
is
nuts.
my day is wild. Yeah, I'm on my
don't sit
feet
very
all
much,
day,
yeah.
and then I take this off when I'm doing jujitsu, and that's like a whole nother 2 hours
Sure,
of like
of course.
running, push up stuff, things like that. But it's amazing when I don't have that kind of physical activity. I'm wired. I won't be able to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'll lay in the bed and I'm staring at it like fuck. I
Yeah, you didn't burn enough energy.
today.
You don't get to sleep now.
Yeah, but like actually the next thing that I want to do, because I actually lost some weight, because when COVID happened, I was still training. I tore my meniscus, and that's when I put on the most weight, because I was like a year and a half of like my knee was jacked. I was kind of even in this place of like afraid to get back into jiu-jitsu and shit. Like I had to get my mental unfucked.
Yep.
Then I got back on the mats and like I'm back in it super heavy. Trying to get my black belt and do things like that. Now
Yeah, it was really
What color
rough.
belt are you?
For us.
I'm a brown
Just
belt,
listen to
so
him whine all the time.
the next one is black.
Yes.
For jiu-jitsu practitioners, it's like a 10 to 12 year journey to
Yeah,
your
yeah,
black
yeah.
belt, and it's very hard on the body.
Yeah, of course.
It really is. Like I still like any jiu-jitsu practitioner. You ask, what's wrong with you? They'll be like, well, my left finger, my right knee, my shoulder.
It's a grocery list, yeah.
It is. But we still show up.
Yeah.
We still train. We still do the things. You just learn how to be like, well, my right shoulder's hurting today. I'm just going to fight with my left hand and my foot over here.
You
And I'm
adapt.
sure it's the same for bodybuilders, because I know
Absolutely.
Ian, who's a fucking beast in the gym himself, is like, he's like, oh, my pectoral muscle is ripped. I'll go lighter. I'm like, what?
Well, you do like a different lift for the day. You'll change it up.
Yeah. I'm exaggerating, but still, it's like, it's one of those
You got to
things-
keep up the consistency, and sometimes you have to work around whatever ailment you have, because if you just take time off, everything starts falling behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you something that's so wild, right? As people who are really, really serious about training, so often when they get an injury, no matter how small the injury is, sometimes they throw in the towel themselves and be like, oh, I hurt my bicep. Fuck, I can't train.
Yeah.
Or like, God damn it, I hurt my knee. Like, I need to take some time off. And then like, there's so many things you can do. There's so many body parts to train, especially like in the physique space.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my shoulder's not feeling it. Well, guess what? Especially if you step on stage or something, you have 18 other muscle groups that you equally need to grow. So like, what are we even talking about here, right? Like, oh man, I can't squat. Well, whoopity-doo. There's 87 other things you should do that you need to do.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, well, you got
You
the whole.
You throw all of leg day away.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't squat. That's it.
Not to mention,
Ignore ignore everything.
Yeah, so like not to mention, let's say leg day, for example, like some of those movements are so fatiguing and have such a big cost on your recovery that when you pull that away, look at how much more I can do for all of the other muscle groups. Whereas like, you know, the amount of sets you could recover from, let's say for shoulders might typically be, I don't know, 18 sets a week. But if you pull the legs away, dude, that could be 25 now.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't have the fatigue and issues from the leg training that you previously had. So you can double down on other stuff. And also when you're really fit, you exercise a lot. Like you recover much faster than the average bear.
Your body gets
you
used to having to recover.
Yeah. No, and it's funny because it's the same in the fighting world. Like there are some people that are like, my arm's broken, wrap it up, and they're in the gym. And there's some people like, oh, my fingernail broke the other day. I'll see you in 2 months. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
I'm like, what you can do is
Everybody was giving Conor McGregor shit because he pulled out of the fight because of his pinky
His
toe.
pinky
right,
toe.
he broke his pinky toe. But there is the other side to that for Conor McGregor, I think, too. It's that he's an older fighter, right? And he's lost his last couple of fights. So I think he's thinking if he goes in there, not 100%, loses this next fight, he's done.
Listen, and I completely agree with that. And I would agree with that if he didn't give Rafael Dos Anjos a bunch of shit years ago for pulling out of a fight with an entire broken foot.
Well, that's
like,
just karma, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like they played they played him at the press conference over again, saying like, "Oh, you're a pussy because you're pulling out." Like his whole foot was broken.
Yeah.
Conor's like the end of his pinky toe was broken. And it's like, bro, like you can't. Like I know you're a billionaire now, but you can't like.
So I think that last point is everything. I think in his case, he doesn't have to fight ever. He doesn't have to do anything ever.
Right.
So it's like,
Absolutely.
if you even are gonna do it, you might as well optimize the whole thing. And if you're not, who cares if he fights again in a year or 2 years?
I think he sold his whiskey company for like $400 million or something.
Yeah,
like,
he's
I would never fight again.
He's a beast.
Like,
There's
you
no
would never
need
see
at
me-
all for him to
You would
fight.
never see me getting punched in the face again.
Yeah.
For that. Like,
So the question does become like, does he have too much money for motivation?
there's dudes at the bottom of the card getting punched in the face for like 20 grand.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
that's like they haven't even paid their trainers yet and shit. And Bill's like, fuck no. Hell
The one dude showed up with 4 hours notice.
Yeah, last night.
4 hours notice.
Yeah.
It's a difference of heart and mentality too, though, right? There are some people that are just so savage that they're like, I will show up regardless. What was Cowboy Cerrone?
Cowboy
Cerrone to his own detriment is like, I will be in any fucking fight any day of the week, regardless of how I feel.
Yep.
And that's just something that's inherently in you or not.
Yeah. I think when people find something that they really, really love, you can say like, I do it for the money, but you love it, you were going to do it anyways.
Right.
And most times people that are like retardedly successful, that's usually what it is, because you have to do 100-hour weeks all the time, make no money, eat shit, everybody takes you for granted and stuff. And like, the money comes as a byproduct of that, but like, you love the shit anyway. So even if Conor was broke, he'd still probably fight. Super rich, he'll still fight. Like, it's not a smart decision.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't think it matters.
When he was broke, I remember broke Conor, like with the
There was no stopping him.
Viking haircut.
BC.
And like,
The BC era. The broke Conor.
the dude,
The broke Conor.
Or BCE, but broke Conor era.
The dude that one punched Aldo. I mean, oh my God. I almost wish he never got rich because like that dude was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, double champ. Like he was just shit.
But look
And he got
at
money.
people like John Jones, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who just can't get his life
He
together.
can't get out of his own way to stop. fucking
Arguably
up long
one of the
enough.
greatest fighters of all times,
Is
but
that
a
arguable?
hot
Is it
mess.
arguable that is he not the best?
I mean,
I would say because his lack of discipline is what makes me mad at him. Like, to me, a George St. Pierre is by far a greater example of a mixed martial artist.
Yeah. Okay.
He was there, he showed up, he was disciplined.
But-
That's my type of fighter.
My only thing though, like I watched George when he was young lose to Matt Hughes.
Sure.
I watched Matt Serra catch George and
Sure.
knock him out.
But then he came back and he avenged both of those fights.
True.
But John's
Okay.
never lost, right?
John has never lost.
Okay.
There's an
true.
asterisk. There's
That's
an
true.
asterisk on his record, and it's from throwing illegal elbows to a deaf fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Which is badass.
Dick-
obviously.
it's like dick move, bro.
So yes, Matt Hamill technically has a win over John Jones, but he
does
was
he-
in the bottom
but
mount
does he- but
getting
does he-
elbowed to death. Like he was not winning
It's
that
a
fight.
win, but
Yeah,
No.
well, maybe if he listened a little better, he would have got out of there.
Yeah. That's right. One of the best lines ever was Brendan Schaub. Matt Hamill tweeted that he could still beat John Jones. Like he tweeted like 3 years ago, and Brendan Schaub responded to it and was like, "Dude, you want to go blind too?" Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you'll never beat John Jones.
John Jones. But
I think as long as John Jones is competing, it's hard to argue that anyone else is the baddest.
Yeah.
But when is
It's
the last
hard.
time he's fucking competed? That's what's been aggravating me about him.
Yeah, he took 2 years off because he's waiting for that Stipe fight.
Sure.
At this point, he's just legacy.
Yeah.
He's beaten literally everybody.
And at some point, he's going to come back and he's going to be too old. The game is going to have passed him by and he's going to be done.
I thought that last time because he was coming up to heavyweight to fight for the first time and he fought the literal #1 contender in Cyril Gane and beat him in like a minute.
Yeah, but he didn't look
And
great.
he made it look easy.
He didn't look great against the other guy.
Who,
The one that was leg kicking the fuck out of him, the Spanish dude.
Thiago. Oh my God, what the fuck is his name? Thiago Santos.
Yes,
Thiago Santos.
yes,
The guy with that
yes.
Thor's hammer on his chest.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. He didn't look great against him.
He didn't look good against him. He didn't look good against Dominic Reyes and the other fight that people
But he
say
won.
He did. He did. win.
Maybe there wasn't
Yes,
enough cocaine
he
in
did.
his system, you know? I mean,
the dude is talent wise, he's the best we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at his family's just full of athletes.
Yeah, no, there's
Full of
no
athletes.
doubting his physical prowess and his striking capabilities, his fighting capabilities. It's just to me like to be the greatest of all time, you got to show up.
Yeah.
That's my personal
But
opinion.
how long do they need to show up for? He showed up for how long? 15 years?
He
Yeah.
did, but then
yeah, but half of those years he's out for drugs. He's out for getting popped for steroids.
And he still wins.
running
Yeah.
a pregnant lady over.
Running people over,
So
fleeing the scene. Yeah, it's a problem.
He gets a lot of rounds in with his girlfriend sparring. He
Yeah,
beats the fuck out of her.
yeah. There are some things that like
She
even
deserves credit.
even
Yeah.
like Mayweather. Like I and I guess maybe I need to separate the fighter from the person, but I do have a hard time doing that. Like Mayweather to me is a huge piece of shit.
Yep.
But one of the greatest boxers of all time.
Is he not the greatest boxer of all time?
My argument with that is like he's 50-0, but like my thing and like his resume's like some
It's
people
fantastic.
Some people say they're 50-0, like Rocky Marciano.
Right.
It's like everybody's like, oh, he's the greatest heavyweight ever. He's 50-0, but look at who he fought. He fought like fucking
and
janitors
Mayweather
and baggage workers.
also fought in multiple weight classes
Yeah.
and still didn't lose.
Mayweather he's 50-0 and like 20 some people are world champions. Like his resume is unbelievable.
Right.
And that's why some people can argue he's the best ever, but like his arguments like Sugar Ray Leonard, he went 49-0, lost one fucking fight and then went 73 without losing.
Right.
Julio Cesar Chavez went 80-0 before he lost. Like,
Right.
there's guys out there that people
For-
forgot about. I do not think Floyd Mayweather is the best ever. I think you can throw his name in the hat. I
Yes.
think you can make a case for it depending on what you look at defensive wise. But to me, like prime Roy Jones,
Yes.
Sugar Ray Leonard, to me the best heavyweight of all time was Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
I mean, it depends.
But
It depends on what you look
and that's
at.
what I was gonna say too. Necessarily, like the record, like the wins and losses, they do matter.
They do.
But I do
In boxing, it's not the
gravitate
same, though.
towards a battle-tested fighter.
Yeah.
Like a fighter that can lose, come back, and then win the next 10. I'm like, I respect that because he's willing to put themselves out there to fight the best in the business to maybe take that loss.
There's
Where
plenty of fighters you see that they lose once,
fluff.
and then that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. They get that first loss, and then they never get back to where they were, and they actually just kind of fall off and just slowly into obscurity.
Yeah, because like even Mayweather, when you look at what he did, he fought Manny Pacquiao, but he waited till Manny Pacquiao was way past his prime.
That's true. I remember that.
Right,
I
so
remember
they-
when Manny was destroying fools. It was like, where's the Mayweather fight? I
Right,
do
and
remember
that's
that.
the time where if like I'm the baddest man in the room, I want to fight the baddest man in the room, and the other potentially baddest man in the room. And there are some fighters that do that, like George St. Pierre. When you look at his record, he fought everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody in the room, he fought them, and he took a loss, came back, and made a win.
Yeah,
and then he was gifted. He punished him.
When he retired at 170. He was gifted that win because I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy he fought, Johnny Hendricks, was juiced to the gills.
Yes,
but a lot of people thought he lost.
He was. But look at Anderson Silva in his prime. When you watch Anderson Silva in his prime, he fought everyone, even out of his own weight class.
Yeah.
Fucked them up. And then one day he started losing.
Well, that's what we're seeing right now with the dude that fought last night, Alex Pereira. Like he's had how many fights in the UFC? It's not many.
No.
Right.
And he's already held the middleweight title. He holds the 205-pound title right now, and they literally said last night, "I'm going to go up to heavyweight."
Yeah.
He's going to try to be the first 3-division champion.
But I
And
mean,
it's like-
he's already run out of other people to fight. He's got to move a division, otherwise,
Yeah.
who's left to for him to even go against.
I wouldn't want to fight him. That knockout last night was
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Oh, it was terrifying.
Do you think, to your point of Pacquiao, do you think that people forget how much of a savage Manny Pacquiao was?
Well,
Absolutely.
going up 8 divisions and winning world
He
titles.
was
Not even. He was an absolute juggernaut.
Yes.
Well, that's what Mike Tyson says. Mike Tyson says Floyd can say he's the best, whatever, but he's like, I look at like your career and wanting to see you fight. He's like, I never was excited for a Floyd fight. He's like, I was always excited for a Manny Pacquiao
Yes.
fight.
Oh, does he talk about Pacquiao a lot?
Oh yeah,
Tyson.
Tyson loves Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you
He's
look
a fighter's fighter.
well, Manny grew up poor as shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, say what you want about Floyd. Floyd's a great fighter, but he grew up under Roger. Like, Roger Mayweather already had money. His dad was a boxer and had money. Like, Floyd grew up with money. He was taken care of. He grew up in the game and worked his ass off, but he didn't have to struggle. Manny Pacquiao had to fight for rice.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
he had no food. Like, Manny Pacquiao was so small that he had to put rocks in his pocket when he weighed in for his first fight because he was not heavy enough for the lowest weight division.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
fucking-
is that
Yeah,
true?
crazy.
Yes, Manny.
Yeah.
Manny is a fucking savage.
Yeah.
And like, if you look at what they did with their money, like Floyd, like when he made all that money with the Manny Pacquiao fight, he invested it in himself and like making more money and
Yeah.
bought
Right.
houses and cars. Fucking Manny built like 100 fucking homes in Baguio City. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Manny has just like
He's
a
given back to
people's
the
fighter.
community in the
Yes.
Philippines, which is why he's held in such high regard to his people.
Absolutely. He's gonna be president of the Philippines one day. Watch.
Oh, I don't
guarantee
doubt it.
And now I feel like because of, people always pay attention to like the first and the last.
Yeah.
So you remember the end, like how, he's like singing these songs and
Yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah.
And all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You guys don't remember how much of a beast he is.
I mean, Manny would just he murdered Ricky Hatton. I mean, he would just the
Yeah.
knockouts he would have were savage as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right. It was 8 divisions. He moved up 8. We're not going to see that again.
No.
Like he fucking jumped up and
Yeah.
weighed 8 times and
That's
won
a
a
lot.
belt.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a ridiculous amount of movement.
yeah. Man.
Well, it's just like Francis Ngannou, right? Here's a man, like, I don't know if you know
specimen, too.
his whole story,
I
but
don't.
like
I don't.
Ian is the best one to describe what he did to get to where he was. Even despite his loss,
Yeah.
he gets all of my
Oh, yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll never not like
Give him a
Francis.
little background
Yeah.
story about-
He grew up in the salt mines of Cameroon. Like, I mean, you don't get any poorer. Like, he's literally in a mine just cracking off chunks of like sulfur and salt, whatever he can get to like sell. And he decided he wanted to be a fighter from watching boxing, so he knew he had to get to a big city. The closest big city to him was Paris, France. He fucking walked. Like, and if you look at a map, like where Cameroon is in Africa, and look at where you have to go and what you have to get through to get to Paris, I wouldn't make it. There's no fucking way. You're
How-
gonna die
how
on
long
that
is
road.
that?
Oh, it's fuck thousands of miles.
How has
and
nobody made a movie about this already?
It's gonna be. It's gonna be.
It's gonna happen.
Can it
Because-
star Leonardo
sure-
DiCaprio?
Crazy.
I mean,
Starring Tom Hanks.
yeah. All I know is if it stars Leonardo DiCaprio, he better get on the juice now.
Can it be like,
And get a tan.
Castaway 2
Yeah.
Francis edition?
Get a fucking tan too, because
So he walks to Paris, right?
Yeah.
Then
he goes into a gym and like he wants to become a boxer, and the people that were looking at him were like, "All right, we'll start training you," because he was a huge specimen of a dude. But then like they saw how he was built and how savage he was, and they were like, because he worked in a fucking mine, and they were like, well, "Have you ever heard of this sport called MMA?" He never heard of it.
Yep.
He never heard of it, and he's like, "All right, I'll try it." And then literally like 3 years later, he's fighting for the UFC heavyweight championship.
So then
Like,
he becomes the heavyweight champion by his own measure. Then he decides,
want
I'm
money.
not making enough money here.
Yeah.
Quits MMA and decides, I'm going to be a boxer.
Do you think
Yeah.
he walked in like the big black dude from The Longest Yard?
Oh,
He's like,
yeah.
you want to play football? And he goes, can you teach me to football? And he walks in, he's like, can you teach me to MMA? And then he just fucks everybody up.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe
He's absolutely a specimen. The only other person that I could think of that has that kind of like, when you look at them like, oh my God, I would never want to bump into you in an alley, is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And Brock Lesnar was one of the, and maybe Brock Lesnar's daughter. If you've never seen her,
yeah,
that is
no,
a
no, I
beastly
know.
woman.
Yeah,
Her name should be Helga.
Yeah.
And she's like doing like shot put or discus or something.
She broke the
Yeah.
world record at Colorado State University, something like that, and she's doing fantastic. It's amazing she's not in wrestling, but
You know,
I
she,
mean,
she wanted her
she
own
might.
path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she could transition right now. She's
Hey,
looks
bro,
really
that's
strong.
fucked up.
Transition as in move from one sport to another.
Please clarify.
That was good. That was good.
That was good. I mean, she might be able to do that too, but
I mean, she doesn't really need much. She's pretty manly looking.
For anyone out there,
She does look like Brock Lesnar with long hair.
Yeah, but Brock's,
really does.
Brock's genes. I mean, considering how hot her mom is, Sable, the WWE diva, like Brock's genes must be strong as fuck. Like they there was no Sable genes.
No,
in
there's
there.
none. There's none.
That baby came out female Brock. Like it's just there was no Sable in there at all. Like, you might as well just a cloned Brock.
Here, look, and just to show we're not over exaggerating.
Yeah, we're not. That's Brock Lesnar with long hair.
That's Brock Lesnar's daughter.
Yeah, bro. So like when he shot the load inside her, and usually there's an XY, the shit comes together. He just X'd her fucking Y out.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
His semen was like, I do MMA. You don't want none of this. My shit is gonna take over all the shit.
His genes ground and pound her genes into fucking dust.
That's right.
There's nothing there.
That's right.
Man, that's fucked up.
I know.
That's so good.
Well, one thing I'll say this about since we touched on Floyd for a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't do that.
Well, yeah.
We did, sir.
We skimmed over.
Never touch on Floyd. I don't want to ever.
Yeah, it's hard to touch Floyd. He's really good.
Have you tried? Have you tried?
Lots of people have.
No, because that was good.
Yeah. For the price, I would try. I mean, fuck, man. I'd take an ass whooping for a couple million.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But if you look at his record, everyone says he's undefeated, 50. He brags about it constantly. If you watch his first fight with Jose Luis Castillo, I still to this day say it. I stand by it. He lost that fucking fight.
Yeah.
On his record, it's a unanimous decision win. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if you look at Manny Pacquiao's record, he has a loss to Timothy Bradley.
Sure.
That fight is a crime.
Yeah.
Like that fight is a fucking crime.
You're like a boxing historian. He's like,
I
he's like looking at all the fights with like a magnifying glass. I'm envisioning like parchment paper and like a fire torch, and he's like looking at it.
Listen,
like,
that fight,
don't believe you're not far off. You're not far off from
that fight. The FBI launched an investigation into the Nevada State Athletic Commission because they knew it was wrong. Like,
sure.
So literally a crime.
It was a crime. Manny fucking was gonna his contract was up with Bob Arum. He was either gonna re-sign or not re-sign. He hadn't decided yet. Timothy Bradley was Bob Arum's boy.
Right.
Signed for like however many more fights.
Right.
The fight goes to the decision. Manny beat him like 11 out of the 12 rounds. Even if you watch it objectively, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like he threw the super beats.
At the end of the fight, they were like, split decision, blah blah blah. Timothy Bradley, and like there are people throwing everything they could into the ring. Of course, it was insane. I've never seen it. I've never seen a robbery like that in boxing history.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking
But
wild.
even that being said, if you watch, I think Floyd was gifted that one.
Yeah,
he won the rematch, but the first fight against Castillo, he lost.
But it's not the first or the last time, right? In sports. In general,
fucked up shit happens.
Like
fucked up shit happens.
Referees get paid off, people get paid off, and they're gonna see their man win. Yeah. But when it's that blatant of a robbery, it's like this is fucking bullshit.
Teddy Atlas pointed something out. I love Teddy Atlas. Teddy Atlas is like an old boxing trainer.
Yeah,
he was with Customato during the Tyson years, in the early Tyson years. But he's fucking got a scar on his face. It's like he's literally New York if it was a person.
Right.
Anyway, so Teddy tells a story about how boxing's the most corrupt sport in the world, and he says like he's like if there was a World Series and it was Toronto against New York, he's like, and say it's being held in Vegas, he's like, and you went out to like a nice restaurant, and saw the entire managing staff of the Toronto whatever with the commission of Vegas, like the Nevada State Athletic Commission, he's like, you'd fucking call the game off. You'd be like, what the hell's going on here? What the hell are the officials meeting with this organization with?
Yep.
He's like, in boxing, that's normal.
Right.
He's like, if there's a fight at Madison Square Gardens, he's like, you will see like Canelo's team, Golden Boy Promotions. You'll see them out at the nicest restaurant in New York with everyone, with the referee, the judges, the fucking the New York State officials.
Right.
He's like, what's going? And no one says shit. You just see them over at that. It's a private room. Yeah. They're all getting the nicest bottles. He's like, they're probably getting girls going back to their room. He's like, they take care of all those officials. He's like, what do you think they're gonna fucking say?
Of course.
He's like, what do you think they're gonna say on fight night?
Yeah.
Like he's like it's the way it's set up. He's like, that's why if you fight a champ. And like the promotion's got all this money. That's why to beat Canelo, like fuck, you got to beat Canelo, bro.
Right.
Like, I mean,
you got to beat.
You got to knock the man out.
You're not just fighting that dude in there. You're fighting like the whole goddamn sport and a lot of money. Like it's tough. It's really tough.
You know,
the most corrupt sport on the planet.
You know what's always bothered me?
UFC's right behind it.
That he said Customato, that he never invested or created a detailing car company. It's literally in the name. Your name is Custom Auto.
You fucked up, bro. You really
Am I right?
Like, yeah, no, I agree.
Every time I hear it, I'm like, well, where's the car detail? Like, what are you talking about? Custom Auto.
No, just a grizzled old man living in the Catskills of New York.
Seriously.
You fucked up, dude. I'm gonna call him after the podcast and be like, bro, listen, we need to invest.
You're gonna call his corpse rotting in the grave? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
He dead, son.
Hey, listen,
right.
man. Listen, I still talk to
He died in the 90s.
Robin Williams. So I mean, I got a Ouija
Asshole.
board.
Fucking asshole.
Did you see like the newer remake of Jumanji?
I have.
Oh, it's horrendous, dude.
It's
The remake, bro. The remake
They're
culture.
so hard to
The
watch.
remake culture in general, like it's really, really gotten out of line. Like
It
these
has.
writers
There's no good
and
ideas.
production, dude. It's gotten out of line.
Nobody
just every
wants to
day.
greenlight anything new.
Right.
It's just give me an IP that's established.
I can't
Let's just
deal.
But then they
keep
fuck it up.
beating it
Every
over
They
time.
and
fuck
over
it up
again.
because I hate when I ever hear the word prequel.
Yep.
Yeah.
And remake and then musical. But
You did good, though. You watched fucking
I
Moulin
did.
Rouge.
I watched Moulin Rouge. I'm
Jesus
trying to.
Christ.
Hold on a second. Did you not like Moulin Rouge?
No, it was good.
Moulin Rouge is fire. It
was
Moulin
good.
Rouge
It was
is
good. But-
very good.
I
Here's-
love
here's-
musicals, and it's his.
I
kryptonite.
do.
He
I
fucking
hate them
hates-
for the most part, but I've been trying to open up. Like, okay, I will revisit a thing.
You are trying
I'm not
to open
so.
up. I see that
Yeah,
emotionally.
yeah.
I get it. I get
Sometimes
it.
I cry. Sometimes I cry.
As long as you don't open up physically, we're good.
That's right.
Bro, that's not what you said before. The
Hey, whoa,
podcast
I know it's your couch.
started.
I know it's your couch.
All right.
Please
Just,
don't
I'm
open
just
up.
trying to figure this out here. Is it a yes? Is it a no? What's going on here? I made you coffee.
That's
You
right.
did. You did. That doesn't entitle. What kind of culture is this? You made me coffee. That doesn't entitle you to sex.
I made you the Cosby special.
Oh wow, that explains why my feet are numb. All right.
That's right. Does this coffee
God.
smell like chloroform to you?
It tastes a little like
That's
it.
right,
so-
that's
No,
right.
look, I can say that I hate something and then still be of the mindset that I will go back and give it another shot at a later time.
That's good.
I don't ever like die on a hill for something, because as we get older, our opinions and things change. So it's like, okay, I can revisit it, and there's still some shit I'm like, yeah, that still fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But I gave Moulin Rouge a chance because I'm trying to prepare, like putting
For
in reps with
Joker
different
2.
dogs. I love the superhero genre of things, as you can see by visiting my house.
Sure.
And they're taking a beloved the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, which was a masterpiece to me.
Yeah, it was. He won an
And
Oscar for
they're making it a musical with Lady Gaga.
Not okay for that.
And I'm so mad. So mad.
But you're gonna have to see.
But
it.
I'm gonna sit down with you and I'm gonna watch it.
You're gonna have to see it.
So that was the plan. So I was like, I need to watch one or two other musicals to get a feel.
That's happening.
Uh-huh.
happening.
It's
That's
oh yeah.
This is a thing right now.
She's like, I want the love.
That's
yes,
happening.
in real time.
We're getting it. We're getting it.
Emma, what are you doing? And she's got the windmill,
tail,
the windmill
yes,
stuff
yeah.
happening too.
It couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
It's all right. It happens. This happens.
Come here, relax.
Story
For
of my
those
life.
that are just listening, if you go onto the YouTube, you could see
Don't.
Ian getting manhandled by a dog's tail.
Don't. It's okay. It happens. She's adorable.
He's
so it's
getting
fine.
full on face whipped by a dog's tail. Yeah.
I get face whipped weekly.
Yeah. But that is
Also,
voluntarily.
like,
That's
to her-
voluntarily.
But to her credit, also, she's just sitting here like an angel.
No,
for
she's
the
been
last
fantastic.
Who knows
This
how
is what
long.
dogs do. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm a dog lover. I'm a dog owner. So I am not, mad when
sure.
when dogs do these things.
cute.
It's what they do. That's how they show their love.
So going back to this Marvel thing, so I'm sure we all love Blade.
yes.
Of
Yes.
course.
Yes.
The
And
original Blade scene in the fucking disco.
Oh, yeah.
When
the
they started
opening.
bleeding.
Down,
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best opening scene to
I
a
still,
Marvel movie.
like, I was nervous going in the nightclubs for years after that. I was like, God damn, is Blade just gonna come in and kill us? Like,
But
all of
Blade-
it, bro.
Blade is fantastic.
Chris Christopherson as Whistler crushes it. Stephen Frost as Deacon, amazing.
It's a fantastic movie.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And now they're gonna try to remake it. And don't get me wrong, Mahershala Ali's a fantastic actor.
he's not
Yes.
gonna be Wesley though. He's not.
That's exactly
No.
what I'm saying. But bro, you
Yeah.
ain't.
There's
No.
no
Yeah,
way.
Yeah, he's
There's no
not.
way.
Yeah.
You ain't.
Just the end of the movie where he's like, some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill. And then he kicks that vial into that dude's forehead. I'm like, bro.
God.
Apparently, that was just some shit
Yes.
he said on
Ad-lib.
set.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're like, yeah, we like
Keep
that.
it.
Keep it.
Yeah.
But here's
I mean, like, I was like, dude, I'm not telling him to change it. Fuck that.
so to what you're saying is yes, it's never going to be the same. So then as a director, what you have to do is lean into something different, right? If you're going to have success with it.
Yeah.
You know, because look
my
at-
worry is they've rewritten the script like 6 times now.
Yes. Yeah.
And several,
How many times?
like 6 times.
Yeah, yeah.
And they've lost directors, they've lost
Sure.
actors. they're having issues with just what story they actually want to even tell. And like several times, I guess he's forced them to rewrite because he's like, this is supposed to be a Blade movie.
Yeah.
Why am I character like number 5 on the fucking call sheet when you read through the script when it's my movie?
Right. I agree with that. And I think here's the thing: how hard is it to write a fucking vampire movie?
Seems like
I don't know, man.
All right.
I mean, listen.
Have you
can
seen Twilight?
You can make vampires
that's
sparkle
not
in
a
the
vampire
daylight.
movie.
That's literally what I was gonna
People
say.
show up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, those vampires don't count. Fuck them. And you know what I don't like too? And a lot of people are like, oh, I really like the new iteration of Interview with a Vampire. Fuck you. Fuck you. The original Interview with a Vampire is the only one that exists in my mind.
You had Antonio Banderas, Brad Pitt, and Tom Cruise in the same
Vampire
fucking
in
movie
Brooklyn.
in the 90s.
I was thinking the Eddie Murphy movie, Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Eddie
no.
Murphy, Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
That was
movie,
a great movie.
dude. Eddie Murphy, right? Like so many people praise him. Like, oh my god, dude. Eddie Murphy's had some fucking stinker.
Oh,
movies.
he has.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so weird how some of these movies in the 80s and 90s, like we all know that they're stinkers.
Yeah.
But there are stinkers.
Yes.
So we love them. Like so
Yeah,
many
yeah.
movies. So I have 2 older brothers like in their 40s.
Yes.
So I'm 30. I was born in 93. But I'm a big fan of a lot of these like 90s
Sure.
and even 80s action movies.
Yeah.
But by rights, I shouldn't be because that wasn't my era. But
Right.
because of my brothers, I am. And whenever I introduce them to people, I have to be like, this movie sucks, but it's amazing. So just understand that. Like, it's bad.
Yes.
So any critique that you have is valid, but also shut the fuck up. It's great.
Okay.
I remember there was like a string of like 10 years where like every comedy that came out was like a black comedian in a
Yeah.
fat woman suit. Like it was
Big
like,
Mama's House
Big Mama's
iteration.
House,
Yeah.
Dr. Dolittle.
Nutty Professor. I was
Nutty
like, dude, what the
Professor,
fuck
yes.
is going on? Like
Yeah.
it was the same gimmick.
You just
over.
named only Eddie Murphy
Over.
movies.
I
by the way.
And Medea.
What's the other guy? Yeah.
Medea was
what's his
later.
name? What's his
Tyler
name?
Perry.
Tyler Perry,
Yeah.
yes.
Later.
They tried to bring it back. Like, what the
Mrs.
fuck? Like,
Doubtfire?
yeah, Mrs.
Caught you, motherfucker.
Mrs. Doubtfire was original. It was better.
Yeah, exactly.
It's better.
Okay,
Exactly.
so all right, on the same beat here, let's think about it. What's a movie that is so bad that it's good?
No
that you
retreat, no
love it?
surrender.
No retreat, no surrender.
Bloodsport.
Stop.
Sport.
Stop.
Blood
No.
sport.
Bloodsport's objectively good. Don't do that. Jean Claude Van Damme, almost all his movies are horrible. Bloodsport's a good one.
I can't listen. because the true story of it is based on such bullshit. I can't. Like,
You can't get past
no,
that.
Frank Dukes, like the guy that sat on the set and told the story,
Yeah.
and they said it was his story.
Yeah.
If you look at a picture of Frank Dukes from the era he said this happened,
It looks nothing like
I would
John.
kick the shit out of Frank Dukes.
Oh, yeah.
I would
No,
put-
I've
I
seen
would-
him. He's fat.
I would
Yeah.
put my fucking money on anybody on this couch against Frank Dukes
Yeah.
in a phone booth. Fuck that dude. Like he had like a fucking 70s porn stash,
Yeah.
and like he's doing like dude. It's the dumbest. And he said like, first of all, the tournament supposedly took place in China in the Black Dragon Society. Then the real story took place. The real tournament took place in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
And like he was a fucking Secret Service guy, and he was special.
Yeah.
What in the fucking Steven Seagal is going on here?
But you
It's
can't.
so bad.
But you can't get past that.
I can't. And like
can't.
then when I watch the movie and it's just Jean Claude Van Damme doing splits, and like
He's
he
just
takes the
crushing
fucking
it.
he takes the coin out of the guy's hand, but not only does he take it, he replaces it with a
Yes,
different coin.
100%. The guy's name is Hussein. He's Arabic, right? Like,
yes.
Bro, can we also talk about the
His buddy's a biker.
No. Can we talk
No
about
style?
the equal representation of cultures and ethnicities
Yes.
in that movie?
It was
absolutely.
beautiful. It was beautiful.
Oh,
It was beautiful.
I will listen. I will not lie. It is one of, if not arguably, it and Enter the Dragon are like the greatest martial arts movies ever fucking made.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
But if you actually watch it, it's so bad. Just the dancing scene
Oh,
and like
yeah.
the
Ooh,
chase
all right.
scene.
The dancing scenes
Listen.
in Kickboxer.
There's multiple dancing scenes. There's multiple dancing scenes.
What's the dancing scene in Bloodsport?
He's in the bar
He's
with
in
the
the
80s
bar.
chick. Yeah, he's in the bar with the 80s chick.
Yes. He's
The
right,
one
he's
in
right.
the one in Kickboxer is where he goes really into it. He's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
drunk
yeah.
and like he
Of
goes.
course,
all-
that's the
yeah.
famous one. That's the famous one.
Yeah.
No.
But, I mean, I still use that move to this day. I mean, it works.
Yeah.
bro.
It never
works.
fails.
Yeah, every time.
It's just it's so bad it's good. It's
Okay,
so bad it's
all
good.
right, Eddie.
My favorite, and it's not even that the movie is good. It was the prank we played with the movie In the Name of the King.
I've never
In the
seen it.
Name of the King is a horrible fucking movie.
I remember
Who's in that?
Horrible.
I remember
Everyone.
renting it.
Jason Statham.
It's a
Ray Liotta.
really
Liotta's
good
in it.
people. It is so god
What's
awful
the name
terrible.
of the guy with the big face?
I rented it and
from
I
Hellboy.
hated it.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman.
Ron
Ron
Perlman's in there.
Perlman
Yeah.
is in it.
He's in Blade 2, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
is.
it's a great cast, poor execution. It was supposed to be like a sci-fi movie, like fighting with war, but they cast all the farmers to be the soldiers.
I mean, people were
The
literally
fight scenes
like
were
named
Power
Farmer.
Rangers.
Like they didn't
Yeah.
give characters proper names and everything. It was so bad. We went to work the next day and we sold it to someone else. Like, listen, you got to watch it. It's amazing. Look, the first half of the movie is awful. The first half, but the second half, when the war starts, it's amazing. Dude. And people would come back so heated that we'd be like, listen, we're going to take the movie now to him. We want you to help sell it to him. And we just went down the line.
We did.
At the job.
But isn't that so funny how like when there was this
It never
time,
got better.
No, but there was this time where like you had to sell people on the movie.
Yes.
Like it's good. Just these days, it's like, is the movie good or it's not? There's more nuance to that. There's like, it's bad, but let me explain to you why you need to see it and what
Yeah.
seeds, you know?
I'm going to throw you guys for a loop with this movie, okay? Showgirls.
Never seen it.
So
Yeah.
bad, it's good.
Yeah.
Never
Okay.
seen
I don't think I've watched it completely.
What's
Okay,
the name
so-
of the chick that was in the
Yes,
daytime
she
TV
was in
show?
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Lisa from Saved by the Bell.
yeah.
Or was it Lisa?
Oh my
No,
god.
I don't think she played Lisa.
so here's
It was
here's
Boy
what it
Meets
was.
World or Saved by the
Saved
Bell?
by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the
yeah.
Bell.
So it was at a time where we grew up watching Saved by the Bell, and she was like hot on the TV show, and then
Yep.
it was like, oh, she's in a rated R flick.
yeah, she's like
Elizabeth Berkley.
Yes.
trying to get out for
She was
being
so
the
fucking hot.
teenager on TV.
Yes.
I wanted to
And
be
she
a
goes
serious
like she goes
actor.
like full nude in the movie. It was definitely not a good role.
It was
like they
not
they
a good-
objectified the fuck out of her.
It was a lot of cocaine on set.
Yes.
Bro,
A lot of
there was a
cocaine.
sex scene in the pool in that movie.
yes.
Bro.
With Elizabeth Berkley?
With Elizabeth Berkley,
Yeah.
bro. Oh man, I went into puberty as soon as I saw it. I was fucking beating the shit
But
out of my
again,
meat.
it
Oh
falls
my God.
under. It was so bad, it's good because we went in to watch it specifically for her.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
No boy in the '90s saw that movie for the fucking plot.
I don't even remember what happened.
Yeah, you didn't watch it. You didn't watch it going.
No
oh,
idea what the plot was.
Look at the struggle of her trying to become of age and become an actress.
She
No one
wants to
gave a
be.
shit.
She wants to be a dancer.
Yeah, oh.
And nobody gives a fuck.
Show me your asshole.
It was so bad.
It was
so
it was
bad.
not good.
It was not good at all. Not good
I
at
can
all.
give you some more. What about so you made a Steven Seagal reference. I'm assuming you hate him.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
That's
Is there
mutual.
any Steven Seagal movie that is accepted?
Under Siege?
Under Siege.
That's it?
Only because that chick pops out of that.
That's it. You have nothing else? Because I got one.
All right, go for it. Let's. I have to look
Yeah,
at his
yeah.
IMDb.
Okay. So
Say hard to kill. Say it.
No. For me, I think that Marked for Death is unbelievable.
That's where he fights the Jamaican guy.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Marked for Death.
Yeah. So
he
Marked
had,
for Death.
he
goes
had
against
good
the-
movies there, but at one point it just started getting
All right, the
worse
only-
and
yeah,
worse
the only-
and worse until
yeah.
he becomes a sniper who doesn't stand
Doesn't
up
get
for a whole
Doesn't
movie.
Stand up for a whole movie.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
That's
All
when
right,
it's a problem.
so Under Siege, Hard to Kill, and what's the other one you said?
Marked for Death.
Marked for Death. I'll give it those. Those
Okay.
three are at least watchable.
Okay.
At
Okay,
least watchable.
So, we got-
Watchable.
yeah, Above the Law.
No,
That's no.
no, not Fire Down Below. None of it.
Out
no.
for Justice.
No.
Exit Wounds?
Exit Wounds.
No.
Yes. Okay.
Nice.
And who's the rap? Who's in that? Ja Rule,
DMX.
DMX. Oh my god.
Hey, bro,
God.
don't you fucking hate on DMX?
I love DMX. Don't know. I've never hate on DMX.
So we obviously love Cradle to the Grave.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cradle to the
Yes.
Grave is a fire
Excellent
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Like, Romeo
Fire
Must Die.
movie.
Romeo Must Die.
Fire
Another
movie,
fire
too.
movie.
And
Yeah.
now I'm looking down.
Anything
a
else
list.
with fucking
I'm looking down-
Steven Seagal? Not a fire movie.
He's got like 30 other movies that
Yeah.
are just like straight
Shit. Just complete
Straight shit.
liquid shit.
Fuck, man.
Just sick diarrhea shit.
What about Black Dawn?
No. Nothing with him. Nothing.
You know what's crazy is I've seen all of these movies too.
Why?
Because I grew up.
You
my
just
father.
see Steven Seagal on the thing. You're like, I'll see it.
It's
My
the same with
father-
Van Damme. It's the
Exactly,
same with
exactly.
Statham.
He can't even fight. He's
Charles
let me
Bronson?
grab your wrist.
Charles Bronson?
Charles Bronson is tough as nails.
Okay, but it was that era of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Steven Seagal, Sylvester Stallone when they were throwing out Rambo movies. It
Yeah.
was just one of those things. Like they came out, we went to see it.
Bro, you know, hot take. I don't like Rambo.
You don't like Rambo?
Hot take. I know.
It's a respected
I'm
take,
gonna tell
though.
you why I don't like Rambo. There's a functional reason.
Okay.
The reason why I don't like Rambo is because I watched it in the 2010s
Right.
for the first time.
Oh,
Right.
Certain things don't age. Like another hot
Yeah,
take,
yeah,
Rocky, if you watch it now, is not good. Because you watched it during the time that it was culturally
fantastic.
relevant and
Yeah.
everything
Right.
was good.
Yeah.
So emotionally, it'll always sit with you.
Sure.
But
Right.
if
It'll
you watch
resonate.
it for the first time in 2019 or something, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah. There's some
Well,
there's some bad acting, but
There's the thing that
there's
happens.
an emotional attachment.
There's the
like
thing
you're
that
saying,
happens
to it.
where where a story is told and it's told a certain way the first time, but then it becomes overdone over the years go by. So when you go back to the original as someone who hasn't
Yeah.
seen it before, you're like, I already know this story because it's been done by everybody else that copied the original.
Sure.
So I'm watching the original now, and it means nothing.
The hardest part for me about Rocky is just the boxing.
Right.
Like watching
It's
a
not
man,
believable.
watching
Yeah.
a man fight
Sure.
a 15-round fight
Sure.
and never pick his hands up once. I'm
Yeah.
like, God
Yeah.
damn! Like he literally eats 1,000 jabs.
I mean,
to
we
the
watched.
mouth.
We watched. What's his name didn't pick up his hands almost at all the whole fight
Oh,
yesterday.
MVP. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why he got fucked up, no?
No, he couldn't keep Ian Gary off his back. He was-
Yeah.
He got backpacked.
But you know what it is too? We are in the fighting world, right? So we have all done stand up, we've done jujitsu.
Yep.
So there's a believability that we're looking for when we're watching fighting, which is why I think I gravitate towards like superhero movies because I don't gotta believe shit. I could just sit there and be like, yeah, of course he punched him through 3 buildings. That makes perfect sense.
He's got super
But if I
strength.
watch somebody and they have really bad form in a boxing movie, I'm like, man, Jake Gyllenhaal, fuck you, dude.
I just think it's funny that Philadelphia, like, because I'm from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia is such a racist city that like they have a fictional character, Rocky Balboa.
Yes.
He's in the Boxing Hall of Fame, and he
Yes.
has a statue at the
That's
top of the
amazing.
steps.
Yes.
Meanwhile, 2 real Hall of Fame legends are from that city: Bernard Hopkins and fucking who fought the guy fought Ali, Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier.
No fucking statue. Not even
amazing.
nothing. Not even a
That's
restaurant.
amazing.
It's,
Bro,
yes.
they get a street sign. There's a Smoking Joe's somewhere.
It's probably a barbecue place, and it probably has nothing to do with the actual boxing.
That's amazing.
But it's true, and it's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
But it just goes to show you that pop culture has such like a dominant stay in our mind. Like
Yeah.
it's just something we gravitate towards. Like even like okay,
Dude, Logan Paul got a fight with Mike Tyson. What are we talking about here?
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
It's
What,
Like,
fantastic.
what-
Exactly.
I know, but like, what the fact that
Fucking
even
crazy.
happened
So-
is all because of pop culture, and social
and
media.
we discussed this because like there's a point where it's like he is too fucking old to be in the ring with him.
Who's gonna tell him?
The discussion is, I think the fight got called off though.
There was a medical
Postponed.
thing,
It got,
and they pushed it back.
It got moved, and Jake got a new opponent. Their fight. It's going to be. He's fighting the guy from bare knuckle boxing that used to be in the UFC, Mike Perry.
Oh no.
Yeah,
He's
It's
gonna
still
get
happening.
fucked up.
It's still happening. Well, I don't know.
Is it bare knuckle or is it boxing?
It's
boxing?
regular boxing. Yeah. If
Mike Perry-
it was bare knuckle, Mike Perry would kill it.
Listen, Mike
But
Perry has turned into an animal.
He is.
Yeah.
He is because you can't fight the same way in bare knuckle that you fight in regular boxing.
No, that's true because bare knuckle is dirty boxing.
Yeah, and you also have to hold your hand different. Like in
Yeah,
boxing,
you gotta hold your hand different. You gotta punch different because you're trying not to break your hand at the same time.
You have to squeeze your hand as hard as you possibly can, or else you'll break your hand.
You don't have pillows to protect your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas in boxing, you can kind of keep your hands open and loose.
Okay,
and-
but all right, since we're thinking like pop culture, right? Another thing that I can't stand watching, but I can't stop watching is like
if you say power slap, I'm gonna.
fucking power slap. Tell me you can scroll past a good power slap.
No, I can't.
You have to watch it.
But I also
I watched the knockout, but I'm still fucking annoyed that it's
Right.
happening.
I watch videos of Chinese factory workers dying in machines, but that doesn't make it a sport. What the fuck? Like, why would you just? I don't understand. It's the
Wait a
sport of
second.
brain damage.
Wait a second.
It's the sport of brain damage.
Where are you watching Chinese factory
Say
workers.
YouTube.
I got the dark web.
YouTube.
Bro.
Oh,
I'll send you some shit.
Do not.
I will
do not.
I'm
I won't watch
sending
it.
I'm
I won't watch
sending
it.
it to you.
I won't watch it. I don't
today.
even like watching bugs kill each other.
If you
No,
send,
all right,
no.
I'm good.
if you send them enough, Instagram will just start recommending it anyway.
Oh,
For sure.
yes.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
You'll have a whole new kind of
Instagram's
explore
like,
page.
Your friends like
You better
this.
block
You must
me.
like
I
this.
just blocked you, bro. I don't want any of that shit.
My buddy Kevin sends me all those fucking videos, and it's like it sucks because like it's 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, dude, it's 7:30, and I watched 12 people die.
Have
Can
you
not?
Have you guys ever seen Faces of Death?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
The original
okay, so
one.
this was
What is that?
like a pop culture phenomenon for us growing up.
Yeah.
It was a VHS that was passed around, and it was basically like the first YouTube before it happened.
It was like The Ring. Like
yeah, you would see people die,
Like
and they
a
would
train
record it,
accidents and all kinds of
and they put it in a VHS, and they called it Faces of Death, and it like circulated through high school. It was atrocious. Everybody wanted to watch it except for this guy. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I will go watch 10 hours of Friends before I watch 2 minutes of
You'll
somebody
seemingly
dying.
go watch all of the F-list Steven Seagal movies before you do that.
Twice. I have no interest in it whatsoever. But there are some people that, I mean, look, I get it. You're desensitized. You work in an ER, and it's probably good for you to get some practice before seeing the actual real thing in
Right.
real life. But yeah, I don't have a care in the world to see that shit.
my only problem with Power Slap is it's not a fucking sport.
No, it's
like,
not.
Like
It's not.
It's two mongoloids standing there slapping the piss out of
It's
each other.
who gets
Absolutely.
brain damage first.
Right, and like at least and they're like, oh, well, what's the difference between that? And I'm like, dude, in boxing or fighting, you can move your fucking feet. You can use your skill to dodge a punch. Like, there's a reason that when two people fight, they pick their fucking hands up.
Yes.
because no one wants to stand there and just go, okay, slap the fucking piss out of me. And the one dude they just got, the guy from Russia that like started and I remember years ago before Power Slap, there was a guy in Russia where the sport started. I'm gonna call it a sport. Where this dude was winning everything, and they just hired him. Dana White just like hired him for Power Slap here. His training videos, he takes a fucking watermelon, and they hold it up on this platform. He slaps the watermelon and it explodes. I'm like, how hard does this dude slap? Like,
Fuck
no.
That's very scary.
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm entertained.
And all the other guys are like Hawaiian and Samoan. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
no, I'm not getting slapped by these
so
dudes.
they're smacking cans of Spam and just
Bro.
shooting Spam all across.
Tim
Yeah.
Sylvia, former UFC heavyweight champion Tim Sylvia is now in this. Yeah, because he's 6'8", and in his non-training days now, he's ballooned to like 400 and some pounds,
Non-training.
and he's slapping you with every pound.
Yeah,
Like, no.
you know who I'd
Fuck
like
no.
to see, the other Hawaiian that was knocking people out in the UFC,
Mark Hunt.
Mark Hunt, in a slap fight. That
might.
man is wild.
You know what I want? I want to see. Even though it obviously can't happen, I want Randy Savage to be the commentator of all the slap fights.
Yeah.
I'm going to for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Oh my god.
I want to see Will Smith.
A celebrity slap? For real, for real?
Celebrity
Yeah,
slap.
he's got. I mean, he's out there slapping
Yo,
people. Shit.
give Chris Rock redemption. Let him get the first
Oh
slap.
hell no!
Let him get the
Will
first
Smith,
slap.
Will Smith will slap the fucking piss out of Chris Rock.
He's still like half his size.
You,
Yeah.
didn't, you didn't see the Bad Boys movie, right? The new one?
I did
No.
not.
The new one?
No, but I heard
We're not
that-
seeing it. I can't see it.
Yeah,
can't?
yeah,
I can't. The
yeah.
first one is so good. The second one is very mediocre, borderline bad. Besides the boyfriend scene, which obviously is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
The third one I'm definitely not seeing.
I'm like,
And the fourth one, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
I'm so burnt out on like superhero movies that
That's
like
not superhero,
I
but
know,
like
but I'm just trying-
blockbuster.
Well, a movie like that, I would still try to watch because, like, I'm like in the thing where I just want to watch a movie now. Like, I just want to see a film with no
I
universe.
just don't want to see has-beens, bro.
Yeah.
And they're washed up.
Yeah.
They're
I
washed
want to see
up.
Martin Lawrence and Will Smith gonna
Like today,
Yeah.
today I might go see a movie. A movie came out with Tom Hardy and Austin Butler about a biker gang in the 60s.
Bike
It's called the
Riders?
Bike Riders. Yeah.
Yeah.
It got decent reviews. I might go fucking see
I'm
it.
not interested at
Dude,
all.
I saw Inside Out 2.
might see
I
it.
saw
I
Inside
might see
Out
it.
2 the other day.
How was it?
Amazing.
There you go. See?
But animated is different.
It is,
right.
yeah.
Animated is,
By
and
far.
the characters are evergreen, right? Like
Right.
there was a commercial for an evolution movie of Mufasa, live action. This shit looked so good. Like I'm gonna see that shit whenever it comes out. Like how Mufasa came to be.
Yes,
I
yeah.
don't-
Yeah, well, that's like when you were saying
I
just a
can't.
second ago about has-beens, like Liam Neeson. Like he's still playing an action hero, and he's
Yeah.
like 90, and he legitimately
Can't
pisses
walk.
himself on set
Regularly.
He can't hold his own urine.
Regularly.
He's drunk too.
And it's like I love Liam Neeson when he was younger, But like, play an older man.
Like, bro,
role
you got
right
all these
now.
movies called Taken. Maybe give.
Yeah.
Maybe give it back. I get that you've taken. I get you've taken a lot. Maybe give some back now. You know what I'm saying?
All right, favorite role of Liam Neeson. How about that?
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yes.
Not even a question. I didn't even have to think about that.
I don't think I got anything better than that.
Ra's al Ghul.
Fuck, that's also good.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna put Qui-Gon above that.
Qui-Gon Jinn is
I'm gonna
great.
go really old school. I gotta go either Rob Roy or I gotta go Darkman.
I don't know either.
I've
of
never
those
seen
things.
those.
You need to check
Never
both
seen
those
them.
out.
Are those the
Darkman.
names of the movies, or that's him?
In Darkman, he plays
Okay.
It was a comic book, and he's a superhero that gets horrifically fucking burned, and he recovers due to chemicals like in the burn, but like he's a psychopath. He has like
So he's a villain.
In a way, yeah, he kills people.
Is he like
kills
the
them.
Toxic Avenger kind of?
No,
I love that, by the way.
That's crazy movie.
Like he goes to the carnival with his wife when his wife thinks he's dead, but he comes back and like in the one scene in the movie, the guy won't give him the stuffed animal, so he breaks the guy's arms like completely off, like just like he's got psychopathic anger. It's a good movie. You should watch it.
I've never
And then
seen that either.
Rob Roy came out like back when like Braveheart was like big. So it's a Scottish movie, but it's based on a true guy too, a bandit in the Highlands called Rob Roy, and it's got the dude that played Abomination in the Hulk movie with Ed Norton.
Oh, okay.
I know who
He's
you're
in
talking
Pulp
about.
Fiction in the diner.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it was Eli Roth, Tim Roth. His name's Tim Roth.
Tim
Yeah.
Roth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he plays a faggy. It's our podcast.
Yeah.
Faggy English like lord who's a really good sword fighter, and he's a
Yes.
really good villain. If you
Yes.
watch that movie, you will hate that motherfucker.
Yes. And he
Okay.
meant cigarettes. He meant a cigarette.
Of course. The British,
Yeah,
yeah,
British
the term for the
cigarette.
cigarette.
yes.
That's what I
do.
meant, yeah.
I still think I'm gonna put Qui-Gon over Roz.
Yeah,
I do think so.
I would too.
Yeah, I would say for sure. I think
I can't 'cause of
Roz
Jar
would
Jar.
be a second.
Oof.
I can't.
Nah, man, you
Because
can
of Jar Jar
ignore
Binks.
Jar Jar.
Jar Jar's.
He ruined the whole movie.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, you
bad.
hate him.
Jar
I
Jar
hate him,
Binks.
and I won't normally say this, but I'm racist against the entire Gungan nation.
Why? Because you're just useless.
I just think
Yeah.
that we should poison the waters of Naboo. And
Yeah,
you
just
you
let
hate
him
the-
die.
I hate them.
That's called genocide, sir.
My
It's genocide.
Hey, you know.
if we're
got a little
going
German
if
in
we're
me.
going here, my beef with that movie is that I wish that Darth Maul had more
Yeah.
audio.
Yes.
Darth Maul's so
Yes.
badass, man,
Yes.
and
Yep.
he's got like 6 words.
The
I
double-sided lightsaber. As a kid, I was
And
like,
what's
bro,
fucked up
bro.
is if you watch the cartoons, Darth
Yeah, of
Maul
course,
is
of course.
such a mainstay.
yeah, he's
He is
important.
such
Yeah.
a
Sure.
fucking beast.
Sure.
They did him dirty.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
when I went in to watch the movie, I was like, this is the next Darth Vader.
So
And
you
they
guys-
gave
such
you
a
Jar
bad-
Jar. Like,
So you guys are huge Star Wars people, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
bigger
So-
than I am in it, but yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for me, the biggest shortcoming of Star Wars thus far is that there's no, you might not like this take, there's no Palpatine only evolution movie, and I think it needs to happen. Palpatine is the coolest person in the whole series, if you ask me. He's the most badass. Every scene's amazing. Ian McShane's flawless. The voice is flawless. And if you guys have read any of the
That
comics,
is what Acolyte should have been.
yeah.
Yes.
Fair.
A take
That's what it
on
yeah.
the
How
dark
Palpatine
side.
got to
And what
where
did we
he
get
was.
instead? We got lesbian space witches.
Here's the thing. Jumping off of that, for me, the most interesting villain that they don't really go into is Count Dooku.
Yeah, he's really interesting because he
Count
was
Dooku.
a Jedi first.
was a Jedi,
And he was Yoda's person.
Yes.
We could also get a Yoda movie
AKA
too.
I would love a
Darth
Yoda movie.
Tyrannus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they give him
Darth
a little bit of the
Tyrannus, I think, is the
backstory,
one.
which is actually very interesting
In the cartoon.
In the cartoon.
And I'm like, man, this is great. Go more
Yeah.
into it, because he was a Jedi who was like, yo,
Yeah.
you guys are fucking up. Actually, you guys are the villains. And he goes to the villain side.
Yeah.
And he starts doing his thing.
He's
over there.
like, you're not protecting the people, you're protecting the politicians.
I
You're, not,
like-
you're not following the Force anymore.
he's
I
a
like
badass.
General Grievous. I like the dude, the android
That's got
general.
8 lightsabers.
Yeah, that dude was fucking awesome.
You know what it is?
It's
You like that sound. The zzz.
Bro.
Yeah.
Fighting him is like fighting a lawnmower. I don't know how to fucking fight that dude. That's
Yeah.
you ain't gonna win that one. You
No.
versus John Deere.
I do love what they did. Like, we've talked about this in the past, but like, my favorite, the newer stuff out of all of the newer stuff is what they're doing with the Mandalorians.
Yeah.
They really leaned in hard. Boba Fett was a hard miss.
Yeah.
But the rest of what they did with the Mandalorians, I love that they expanded the lore away from the Jedi a bit, but still kept it in that world and gave you a little more to look forward to. But I would love more of the villain side of the story.
Yeah.
But like, really lean into it. Tell it from their perspective. Why are they so fucking crazy? Why are they so mean? But they're very hard pressed to be like, we need a hero to tell the hero story. Like, I wouldn't mind like a villain murking all the fucking heroes and
Yep.
being like, that's how it ends. I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
That's a good-
let Disney do it. They got it.
Yeah.
Sure they do.
The childish,
doing a great job.
childish take that I have so I actually don't like The Mandalorian or Rogue. No, but it's very childish why I don't like it. When it comes to Star Wars, for me, if I'm not getting lightsaber battles within 5 seconds, I'm out. I'm out.
Space wizards.
So like, if there's no magic, Jedi, Sith, and lightsabers, I could give a fuck. I don't care.
So you were a big fan of Andor. You liked Andor?
No,
I wouldn't watch it for that reason.
There's nothing in it.
I know, that's why I didn't watch it.
It's okay to skip. And there are some people that are like, Andor is the best thing to come out.
Yeah.
Like, no, it is not.
Yeah. No,
it's
It's
not.
fucking trash. And I watched it from beginning to end because since I am a fan,
It's Star
I was
Wars
like,
without the Star Wars.
yeah, I can't trash it without watching it. That's how I look at it because we review these things. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a fair shot, and I hated it.
I tried to watch The
Hated
Acolyte.
it.
And
I tried.
that was
also
one of my
tried.
biggest
I
complaints
tried.
about Andor was, where's my fucking space wizards?
Sure.
Give me some. At least with the Mandos, you have some kind of a technology thing going on.
Yes,
A
yes.
westerny feel.
And there was
but
aliens.
You
There
remove
was
both
alien
of that,
life.
and all you have is just regular motherfuckers, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't care.
Although
I don't care
I have a
about them.
lot of beef with in Mandalorian. This is like so nuanced, but you guys seem to like this kind of
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
Is it a lightsaber or is it a sword? This black thing
It's a
that black
dark
guy has.
saber.
The dark saber.
You need to commit, buddy. You're like, I want to do a sword, but I also want to do a lightsaber.
Yes.
Fuck it. Let's
Yeah.
just
So
do
it's-
both of
yeah.
them.
So what they wanted to do.
I was fine with that because of how cool it was. I was like, wait, you told me it's like a Beskar steel blade with like a lightsaber around it? Oh my God.
Well, that's what it was, is that they wanted to distinguish themselves from the Jedi by making such a weapon, but they wanted to make a weapon that rivaled the Jedi. And it was meant to be, he was a Jedi, but he was also a Mandalorian. So they gave him something that was a cross between the two.
Well, the
So
lightsaber,
that's where it was kind
the
of originated
the
from.
lightsaber can't be that dangerous because the fucking Jedi and the Acolyte just gives it to a child. Just
Bro.
hands it to him. There you go.
Let me
Go
tell you
play with
something.
this in your room by yourself.
Now, you hate the Acolyte. I get it. I'm with you. Episode 4, amazing. Some of the
I didn't get
best
there. Did you?
fight scenes.
I didn't get there.
Some
I
of
got
the
to
best
Nelson.
fight scenes.
Nelson.
I'm telling you, the rest of the show is shit.
Nelson.
I'm telling you. Some of the best fight scenes from a villain.
So we have
who
five.
goes-
So we have 5 episodes.
Yes.
And episode 4 is good.
So then it is episode 5.
Oh, so 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5.
So if I make you a sandwich, Nelson, when we're done, when
Yes.
we're all done, if I make
Yes.
everyone a sandwich,
Yes.
and I put 20% ham in that sandwich,
Yes.
and I put 80% of my own shit,
Yes.
into this sandwich,
Yes.
and I feed it to all of you,
Yes.
are you going to look at me in the face, with a straight face, and
Yes.
tell me that it is a ham sandwich?
First of all, I'm not eating it.
So they did.
Thank you.
So
My point
your
is made.
logic is the same with Obi-Wan, right? Like there were 6 episodes of Obi-Wan, but you get the battle in the 6th, and everything else is leading up to this shit that we were basically wanted in episode 1.
How can
Correct.
he not catch
Yeah.
a child running through a crowd? He's fucking Obi-Wan.
This is true.
He can beat Darth Vader in a fight, but he can't catch a little girl. Throw a rock at her head. What the fuck?
Yeah. I
You're
mean-
a Jedi Master.
I mean, that's the opposite of the Jedi code, to throw a rock at a kid's head, but I see where you're going.
Like, bro,
I see where you're going with it.
of all of the spin-offs you could do of all the Star Wars things, like you could have given me Palpatine, Yoda, Count Dooku, but instead you give me 6 episodes of how Obi-Wan has mental health issues
Exactly.
because he did the right
It was
thing.
bad.
Like,
It was bad.
Like, come
It's
on,
Disney.
man.
It's Disney. That's what
and
they
really,
do. They do.
he was supposed to stay on the planet watching Luke.
Yeah.
So it should have been him watching Luke. It
Yes.
should have been him protecting the
Yes.
boy, not gallivanting off in space and protecting Princess
be
Leia.
fair-
Yeah.
That should have been somebody
Yeah.
else's job,
Yeah.
not his.
To be fair, Ahsoka was good. It wasn't great.
I
It wasn't
liked
bad.
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka was good. It delivered on fight scenes. It delivered
Yeah.
on storyline.
Mostly what I liked about Ahsoka is what they managed to do with Hayden Christensen and kind of bringing him
Yeah.
back in his
Yes.
role as Darth
The,
Vader.
the only thing
Yes.
that sucked was the amount of stuff that you had to have watched to
Sure.
fully get the plot.
Yeah,
like,
it's
I mean,
a lot.
you needed
It's a
hundreds
lot
of
at this
episodes.
point.
I
of
will tell
shit.
you this: skip to episode 5, and you will enjoy at least Star Wars for what it was. The fight scenes are amazing, and the villain is fucking wild. The shit that he does as a Jedi, you're like, this is fucking dope.
Listen, the dark side is so strong in me that I cannot even give them the view. It's bad enough at this point that I'm stealing Disney Plus for someone else's account. I will not give them the view.
Where do you rank on the newer Star Wars movies? Do you hate them? Do you reject them?
The first one, I did not hate it. I didn't care that it was a female main character. I didn't care that it was kind of a rehashing of the same old Star Wars story. But then, like, the second one, you turned Luke Skywalker into a weirdo drinking blue milk from the tit of some animal. I mean, you took the baddest dude, supposedly, like, and you made him like this bumbling old fuck. And like, I don't know. It just seems they have the same idea. We're gonna take a female main character. We're gonna make her strong, smart, blah blah, undefeatable, and they're gonna put her against this like instrument. And I don't know. Like,
Okay,
I
so
was happy to see Palpatine in the third movie.
Yeah.
I thought there were redeeming qualities.
Dude,
Yeah.
he crushes it, bro.
Yeah.
He literally has never taken an L.
Yeah.
Like even though it's been him
Yeah.
since the 80s, whatever it is. That voice, he crushes.
he delivers.
it.
Yeah,
he delivers.
he does.
So good.
But
He does.
I really
But then
like
they-
Adam
they-
Driver though.
I like Adam Driver
Adam
too.
Driver's performance
Yeah,
was
yeah.
fantastic.
I liked Adam Driver too, but
Yeah.
it's like you had this villain in Snoke, and like
Yeah.
they made him look like this big menacing thing. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see how. And then he just gets fucking bodied, and I'm like,
Yeah.
he's gone. I'm like, what the fuck?
He was-
There was a handful of mistakes. Really, the way they handled Luke,
Mm-hmm.
the whole temple with him and that should have never happened. Like
Sure.
Luke already went so far as to redeem Darth Vader.
Right.
He's not the one that's supposed to fall. That's not supposed to happen that
Right.
way. So to take Luke and deconstruct him that way was just absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
Rey, I have no problem with Rey. They had a massive failing with Finn. He should have.
They knew what to do with him.
He should have.
You're supposed to be a Jedi, no?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They should have given
thought.
him what he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be force sensitive also.
But I
and
don't
start-
like him.
And start.
I don't like him as a character.
God.
I think he's
Oh, wow.
shit.
Oh, wow.
I just don't. I don't like his acting style. I don't like him as a character. So when they snubbed him for being a Jedi, I can almost see it. If they would have put a better actor in his
But
role,
they did it everywhere
I
else.
may have liked the character
They
more.
gave his Lego character version all the Jedi powers he was supposed to have in the movies, and said "fuck you" in the movies,
as
and
you
didn't give
should,
him
because
anything.
the cartoon is a way better representation of the character.
And then they were also when they were leaning away from giving him the Jedi powers, they were leaning into him leading a rebellion with a bunch of the troopers that go against, like, hey, we were just kind of conscripted kids.
Yeah.
We're gonna fight back, and they gave him like 6 people, and they're like,
Yeah.
that's all you need. Like there was a bunch of stuff in there that just they didn't handle quite right.
Yeah, we'll end it on this. We'll end it on this. My take on the newer stuff, the best of the newer stuff that I actually liked was Rogue One. I thought that was probably I liked the movies. I loved Adam Driver. He was probably my favorite character.
Yeah.
In the whole the new series, but Rogue One to me was probably my biggest draw as the new Star Wars
And they
movie.
didn't put
I
the
really
There's
loved
Jedi
it.
stuff in
They
there,
didn't
right?
put the
There
originals
was. Yeah,
together
never
for
saw it.
like
Yeah.
one good
It was
scene.
really good. It
That
was
was another
really
thing
good.
that they should have done. We needed a good scene with Luke and Han and Leia together, and they did fuck all with that.
What was the other one that was the young Han Solo?
Solo.
Solo. That was good too.
I
That was
enjoyed
good
it.
too. I liked it. Didn't hate it. See, I can fall in the middle, Ian. Okay, you can't just hate or love. Like, it was good. It was good. It was a solid watch.
I like that they made Kylo Ren Han Solo's son.
Yes.
Yes.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. There's something about Adam Driver yelling that I'm just like, I'm in. He's so evil. He's so passionate
he's
when he's
good.
like, oh,
He's
like,
good.
yeah, he's
He's a
gonna
good
murder
actor.
somebody.
Yeah.
He's a good actor. You saw that SNL skit?
Yeah.
Him?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
Oh,
so
it's so
funny.
good. It's so good. It's
So funny.
He's sitting there trying to be like, what about this guy? And he's like, and he's talking shit about him. He's like, oh, I'm gonna murder you. Oh man. And on that note, thank you for joining us at the Sofa Kingdom Podcast. You can find us on all your social media platforms at.
Sofa Kingdom OFC.
You can find us on YouTube at.
Sofa Kingdom Podcast.
Please tell us where we can find you.
Shimmy93 on Instagram, SHIMMY 93, and The Shim Show on YouTube. So we're getting that going now.
Nice.
There you go.
Very nice,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. And thank you for joining us. We'd love to have you back sometime.
Yeah,
it was
of
a lot of
course.
fun.
We can
Yeah.
talk fitness next time.
For sure.
We didn't talk any of that.
No.
Not directly, at least.
No,
we
no.
just commented on other people's fitness and how bad it is.
We went off the rails.
As normally is the,
Yeah.
We really do come in with the intent in our hearts to have a game plan, and then the conversation just kind of fucking
Right.
goes all
Yeah.
over.
We got
But
better
yes.
though. We've gotten better.
Yes, we have. But yeah,
I thought it was great.
Thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah,
It was
man.
a lot
Thank
of
you for
fun.
having me.
Anytime.
The dog was
Anytime.
an added benefit. It was an added bonus here.
Emma, you want to say
Em-
anything to the
Emma's
people?
welcome back.
Emma, you
Anytime.
want to say anything to the people?
Roof.
That's usually like how I am because I'm pretty scatterbrained too. Yeah. So I mean, unless it's like we're really